Why is authentic leadership important in the workplace? Well, good leaders make you money. Bad leaders cost you money. And authentic leadership is the best way that you can lead. So there's a financial correlation between good leaders and production within the workplace. That not enough reason for you? If not, I'll give you some points. Hey, my name's James Burnham. I work as a fear coach, and I guide people through barriers of fear that keep them from performing at their optimal level. So let me tell you about these 3 points of leadership that will make you be more authentic and more powerful.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
First of all, got to understand what authenticity is. What is that? What does it mean? To me, authenticity is a deep and abiding honesty within yourself. Showing up when you know you got to show up. Saying what is truthful in the moment that it's hard. It's easy to be authentic when everyone's going to like what you're about to do. It's very, very hard to be authentic when you're, say, sitting in a boardroom and what you have to say will not be popular to hear. How do you do that? How do you show up in that moment and say what you need to say? Authenticity is that gut check. You can feel it. And in fact, did you know that you actually have what are basically neurons in your stomach and in your heart? They function like your brain. There's memories that are there. And so those feelings that you get, that moment of trepidation, is this going to be okay? Is that gut check that allows you to align yourself with what is true to you. Take a moment, listen to it, lean into it, and then step through that door in your most authentic and true way. I promise you, it is so powerful. It will lead people towards what you want. It will make you a visionary. It will inspire others around you. So that's why it's important. It's important because it actually inspires those that are around you to follow you. As a leader, you need that. And you can do it through fear. You can do it through false images of who you are. These are kind of standard approaches that we have used from paradigms in the past. In a survivalistic society, there really isn't much choice to be made. It's a fight or flight situation. You move in, you cannot admit wrong, you just plow through, and it's a trauma response, really. Our paradigms of leadership from years past are not the most effective. Behavioral science has unveiled for us that true, authentic, vulnerable leadership is the most compelling and powerful influence that you can demonstrate as a leader. It's important because in a business, if you're that kind of leader, you will actually get more out of your team. Your people will want you to actually be around. They're going to want to step up and perform for you. So things are going to happen that allow you to navigate difficult situations in a tumultuous climate, a space that maybe is changing quickly. And in today's world, business world, we need that ability to adapt quickly to situations that we're unsure of. So how do we do it? How do we show up? Well, that's the trick, isn't it? You really have to get in tune with who you are. You have to know what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. When you begin to really understand that and be comfortable with it, it allows you to show up and be honest. You can then say in a meeting, I don't fully understand what we're being asked to do. Does anyone else? Or, hey, we've got to hit these targets by the end of this quarter. I have a few ideas, but I don't know if they're the right ones. I'd love to have some input from you guys on how we create a plan to do this. This opens the door to the rest of your team to be open and honest themselves. When you start admitting mistakes, admitting that you have concerns, and also owning your strengths as well as your weaknesses, the people around you will be able to mimic that behavior because you have made it safe. You will allow for conversations that would generally be held in private to be open and dealt with and really approached in the most effective manner with all of the talent at your fingertips to use. You don't have to be the sole purveyor of all things excellent. And I've seen this happen in companies where I've had leaders who have been so intent on showing up and only showing that they're great that they limit and stifle everyone around them. It stops the flow of work. it breaks down communication, it loses money for the company. And when that happens, well, that leader becomes a target. So, authenticity, it's a tricky thing to do. I know it is. It takes courage. It takes bravery to step into that space. As you do it, I promise you, the value you gain from it will pay in significant dividends. It is just how it works. So be brave and be authentic. I want to wrap up with a story that really represents somebody that I saw who didn't act as an authentic leader and the impact that it had. And I was coaching this person for a company. He was struggling. He had a number of issues that he was facing. A really good guy. And during the time that I was coaching him, I would ask him questions about various things, and he always seemed to have the answer and everything's under control. And it made me concerned because it seemed like his answers weren't really answers. And I began to delve into it a little bit here and there. Eventually come to realize that he didn't have these answers. He just didn't want to admit that he didn't. And in that moment, when I discovered that, things got a little bit tricky. Eventually, he was no longer part of the company, and they asked me to take over for a time. And so I did. And as I was going around getting myself familiar with everyone in the different divisions and locations of the company, consistently what I heard was, oh my goodness, I'm so glad we have somebody that we can talk to, because this guy would never listen to us. Or we didn't know if we could act in this way because he had to make sure that we cleared everything with him first. I discovered his method of leadership, of extreme control and having everything flow through him because he saw power as information, and his ability to control that, to demonstrate his strength, was the very thing that was limiting the ability for this company to thrive. And by just clearing out that space and allowing people to act on their own, to make decisions on their own, to trust them, and for me to say to them, I don't know the answer to this. This isn't, I'm new here. Why don't you tell me what your process would be or what your decision would be in this scenario? Listening with those type of ears and admitting that I didn't know, I was able to come up with great solutions that were provided by the people working there. The truth is, I didn't come up with the solutions. I was able to implement those solutions, and the company started thriving immediately. Everyone got happier. Everyone was willing to work harder. They were willing to throw themselves down on the line because now their participation was being validated. They were being able to be seen for the talent that they were, rather than everything they did going through this leader who would take all the credit for it and act like he knew everything that was going on. So shedding this paradigm that we have, which is an old guard idea that the leader cannot make mistakes, is perfect, knows all, does all, is really, really important. And it has a strong cultural pull for us, particularly for men. So if you're one of those men that feels caught in the trap of always being on point as a leader, there's another way. There's a way that you can show up and get the help you need, because the people around you, hopefully you've hired, are talented. Rely on them. Give them the space to act. Clear the roadblocks. Let them have the ideas. And let them know you need help. This is a beautiful thing. It makes you a powerful leader. If this is important to you, and if it isn't, come on, pull your head out of your ass. It's gotta be. If you wanna be a powerful leader and make some money, check out this other one and why authenticity is important in leadership. And find out some more techniques that you can use and make yourself some more money. And I would love to know what you do to show up as a good leader. I'd love to hear your comments. I'd love to know what you think about what I said. If you think the old guard of the perfect leader is still valid, let me know. I'm interested in what you have to say. How do you defend that? Like, subscribe, click on the bell, and get ready. This video's coming. You're gonna watch it, I know it.